probably already seen the news article already, which is that Leeds winger Raphinha is apparently agreed to sign for Barcelona. Barcelona, or a link close to them, have said the deal's all been done. All we've got to do is negotiate with Leeds now. If that were true, Barcelona would be in an awful lot of trouble. It always, I don't necessarily disbelieve it. I often think these Spanish clubs, you're not allowed to do that. That's tapping up a player. You're not allowed to negotiate a contract with the player, then approach the club. I think if an English club did it, they'd probably get in a lot of trouble. But anyway, this seems to go on. That's not really what I want to talk about. It's the fact that we bid for him and Calvin Phillips, and that people said these are unrealistic transfers. And I've got to disagree with that. Well, actually, no, I say that. I disagree with the intention. What I would agree with is they probably were unrealistic at the time that we bid for those players. They were unrealistic because you had Leeds United, who were in the midst of maybe not a relegation scrap, but they were on the brink. They were on the edge. They didn't have to look down very far to see the relegation scrap. You had Newcastle who brought players in. A resurgent Burnley, you'd have to say. And, of course, Norwich had started to pick up some points. Leeds are in a bad run of form, apart from when they played us, obviously. You can understand why they wouldn't sell those players. That being said, it was... So I thought the accusation that West Ham had been unrealistic in our pursuit of those players was just limited to the fact that we were approaching a team who'd want to keep all their players to maintain Premier League survival. It seems to be a little bit more than that, because reading a few of the comments today, it appears that people are still saying, well, why did we even bother going for those players? Well, you know what? You can't have it both ways. And this is it. And I realise it's not everybody saying it. This is exactly the type of player that West Ham should be going for. Absolutely the type of player West Ham should be going for. If we don't, then we just end up going for the Championship players. The kid at Hull City, was it Lewis Potter? And then, of course, you get criticised for doing that. Hold on, we don't show any ambition. Yet when we do show ambition, hold on, that's unrealistic. Look, this player may well go to Barcelona. He may not. But we have to set our sights higher. If we're in a Europa League sort of area, well, not just in the Europa League itself, but actually vying for those positions in the Premier League, which is what, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, that's exactly where we are. We're going for that sort of thing. Surely the next level up has to be that. We can't keep hoping that David Moyes plucks players from the Championship and converts a winger into a striker and does all that stuff. No, at some point we're going to have to go and buy the next level of player, and this would certainly be one of them. I'm going to get to in a second a couple of the fine details about this deal, and why I also think this deal with Barcelona is not yet done. Before I do, this video is sponsored by Manscaped. This is the lawnmower. Let's switch it on. This is the weed whacker. That's for your router or your ear rolls, however you want to use it, really. I've got to be perfectly honest with you here. When Manscaped first started sponsoring these videos, they gave myself and Gio one of these each for free. I was so impressed with it, I went and bought this with my own money. I actually used the discount code, which we're going to give to you. If you Google Manscaped or use the link below, go on there, and at the checkout, it'll ask, do you have a discount code? Say yes, all one word, it's Hammers Chat. These things are really, really good. I've had this for a few months now. I've only ever needed to charge it once. This has wireless charging. I don't know, how does the electricity get from there to there? I've no bloody idea. Has ceramic discs so it doesn't bite and pull. Really, really good products. They also do a cologne, an eau de toilette in a box that's like Fort Knox, quite frankly. Lovely, lovely little bit of kit. I would squirt it and spray it, but last time I did that, I managed to get it in my eye. Loads of moisturisers, loads of different products for male grooming. It is the one-stop shop for all your male grooming needs. That's Manscaped. Now, back on to Raphinha. I've no idea if Raphinha Manscaped or not. We'll never know, I guess. Here's the thing, and here's why the Barcelona thing I find a little bit unbelievable. Let's put it that way. Now, apparently, he has a buyout clause for 75 million. Okay? So if he's got a buyout clause on his contract for 75 million, Why would Barcelona then need to go and contact Leeds to then make the negotiation? Just pay the money. Now, we also do know that Barcelona have been suffering from some financial difficulties of late. However, I believe they've got some new investment. Just paid a 75 million. The other thing, and this is where West Ham come into this, is that apparently Raphinha has a clause in his that's easy for me to say. She sells on the seashore and all the rest of it. A clause in his contract which in the event of relegation means he's available for 25 million. Now that makes it a lot more understandable why we went in the in the winter window with a £50 million bid. That's very much us saying to Leeds, look, here's 50 million quid now. If you get relegated, it's going to be 25 million. We chanced our arm. I spoke to Gio about this, and Gio was very much of the mindset that actually what that's enabled us to do is publicly declare our interest to Raphinha. To say to Raphinha, look, this is us, we're interested in you, there's a public bid. Unlike Barcelona, who clearly don't need to go through such stealthy methods. No, they just apparently approach the player and negotiate with the player straight off. But even if you accept that there is some interest from Barcelona in this player and there's some form of skullduggerous methods in trying to get him over the line, what if he doesn't go to Barcelona? Are West Ham a consideration? Well, you bet they are. Are West Ham an unrealistic destination for Raphinha? No, of course not. Look, he plays for Leeds United. West Ham are one of the better teams in the Premier League. Is Raphinha going to go to Liverpool? No. Is he going to go to Man City? No. Man United? No. I can make the case individually for each club. There's no point in me going through them all. Chelsea? We just don't know what's going on with Chelsea. I would suggest, I remember when we played Chelsea at our place, they brought on, they had Pulisic there, Hudson-Odoi, Ziyech, or whatever his name is. They've just got winger after winger after winger. Unbelievable. Last thing they need is another wide player of that ilk. I think we all know what Chelsea need, aside from an owner. Sorry, bad joke. Maybe not. But they're not going to be in for him. If you look at that, then you have to say West Ham are contenders. It's not just that. Look at what we've just been to Sevilla. We just gone and beaten one of the top teams in Europe. Look, I think Olympique Lyonnais may well be slightly more difficult than that, but not because I think Olympique Lyonnais are a better team, by the way. I just don't think it'll be as plain sailing as many of us think. However, we have put ourselves on the map. There is no way that Raphinha or Calvin Phillips, for that matter, can now view West Ham as the same level of club as Leeds. I'm not talking historically, okay? I'm not talking about Don Revie's Leeds team. I understand, right? Great team. I've spoken about Eddie Gray many times. One of the finest players that I've seen, really. I mean, he absolutely brilliant. And by the way, I didn't go down and watch him live. I've seen footage of him. He looks a fantastic player. But right now, Leeds United are not comparable to West Ham United. They're just not. We're in knockout stage of the European competition. We're at the top end of the league. They're down at the bottom. I've said before, if Calvin Phillips has realistic ambitions of staying within that England team, particularly with the likes of Jude Bellingham coming through. I know Bellingham plays in a slightly different position, but you only got to look at those under 17, under 18, under 20 youth ranks. There's a lot of really good midfielders coming up. If Calvin Phillips wants to stay relevant, wants to stay, and Gareth Southgate's thinking, then he can't stay at Leeds unless, again, they have some ridiculous metamorphosis and start splashing loads of money. They stay as they are. If he stays there, his career stagnates. He has to move. And if he has to move, is West Ham a consideration? Of course it's a consideration. And this is what I mean. So I don't want to I don't subscribe to all this, we have to be more ambitious, let's have realistic targets. Let's not. And I don't think this is one of them. Look, I'll give you an unrealistic target, okay? Paul Pogba's transfer. Paul Pogba, his contract is running out at the end of this season. I wouldn't want to sign him anyway, particularly, but I'll use it as an example. Would that, for us to go to him and say, do you fancy signing for us, would that be unrealistic? Yes, I think it would. Haaland is available, apparently, for 150 million. Unrealistic? Yes, he wouldn't come to West Ham. But Raphinha and Calvin Phillips, that are not unrealistic. Haaland is only either going to Real Madrid or Man City. And Mbappe's contract's up at the end of the season. He's going to Real Madrid, isn't he? I mean, Okay, he's not going to go to West Ham. But these are realistic targets. That's what I'm arguing. These ones now, Raphinha, massively a realistic target. I'd keep going in for him. I'd go back in for Phillips if that's who we've deemed is, if that's who David Moyes wants. Personally, I'd be worried about his transfer, his injury record. Not great, is it? Let's be perfectly honest. But if Moyes wants him, and there's one thing you've got to say, they've done wonders for Mikel Antonio in terms of his injury. Maybe we're quite good at managing injuries. Maybe he's got top guys on board. I just don't know. Anyway, there you go. Raphinha to Barcelona? Quite probably, quite possibly. But just because that's the case, let's not now just start scouring League 1 and 2, keeping it real, being realistic about things. If we see a player, if we've got funds, let's go for it. You may well find that West Ham are a little bit more attractive to these players than we think.